We have some big news coming in. US House Speaker Mike Johnson condemns Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir, India, and announces Trump administration will help India with resources. Viewers, this is massive. This is absolutely massive. Now, US has made its stand clear. US House Speaker Mike Johnson has condemned Pahalgam terror attack and has announced that the Trump administration will help India with resources. He said, and I quote, "India has to stand against terrorism. We will do everything possible to support those efforts. If the threat has increased, Trump administration will help India with energy and resources to fight terrorism and assist with it." Let me quickly go across to my colleague Aditya Raj Kaul, who joins me over the phone line with more details on the same. Aditya, this is massive. You know, United States seem to have made it clear for everyone that the country stands with India. The US, in fact, House Speaker has announced that Trump administration will help India with resources.
Well, absolutely. It's a big statement coming in. We are breaking this first on News9. One of the topmost leaders right now in the United States, the U.S. House Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, has announced support for India. And in fact, he has said that the U.S. is mindful of the fact of the increase in the threat of terrorism that India is facing. And that's why, in his belief, he said that the Donald Trump administration, the U.S. President Donald Trump, would be, in fact, giving all kinds of energy and resources to India to fight this terrorism. So it's a big statement coming in. We've earlier seen Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, even the US Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, making statements in support of India and against terrorism, and also condemning the Pahalgam terror attack on 26 April that killed at least 26 innocent civilians. And now the U.S. House Speaker, Mike Johnson, clearly indicating that U.S. stands with India in this fight against terrorism. He also went on to say that he hopes that there is an easy resolution to the tariffs challenge that has come in, and the negotiations could be ending soon. But the big talking point is US's support against terrorism to India. He says that, yes, he condemns the attack. He empathizes and sympathizes with the Indian people and Indian government. And at the same time, there is an increase in the threat of this terrorism. U.S. is monitoring this very closely, and the Donald Trump administration will be supporting India with all kinds of energy and resources, and he has no doubt in that mind.
Right, Aditya, and also, you know, do tell us that if this is a sign that global pressure on Pakistan is clearly mounting, you know, and if so, what sort of impact will it really have?
Well, certainly there is global pressure on Pakistan. Earlier also we've seen over the years Pakistan how has been isolated. There was pressure of the Financial Action Task Force also because Pakistan was grey-listed. That led to economic challenges also for the Pakistan government. At the same time, at midnight, the UNSC also met on this particular issue at the behest of Pakistan. And while Pakistan wanted to engage in propaganda against India at the UNSC, most of the members did not actually agree with the propaganda of Pakistan against India. It asked Pakistan as to why it is sheltering terrorists on its soil. At the same time, also negated the propaganda of a false flag operation that Pakistan is trying to propagate in international media. The members of the UNSC also asked Pakistan on what steps Pakistan is taking from not sheltering terrorists on its soil. That clearly indicates that Western powers or several global powers are asking tough questions to Pakistan, and Pakistan seems to be isolated even today. Apart from China, Turkey and Azerbaijan, there are no visible supporters of Pakistan at stage. On the other hand, there are India's allies like US, France, Russia, Israel, and many others like Italy and Japan as well, and Australia, who stand with India and certainly have condemned terrorism and said that India has a right to strike back at terrorists and eliminate them, and also ensure swift justice. So there is certainly pressure building on Pakistan. And with this new statement of U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson supporting India in its fight against terrorism and announcing that Donald Trump administration will support India with all kinds of energy and resources, it is certainly going to help India build more international pressure, isolate Pakistan, and also go after these terrorists sitting in Pakistan, sheltered in Pakistan, with military kinetic operations.
Right, Aditya, continue to stay with us. In fact, for those who have just joined us, this is a News9 exclusive and we are bringing it for all our viewers. The United States House Speaker Mike Johnson, in fact, has condemned the Pahalgam terror attack and has announced that the Trump administration will help India with resources. I'm going to continue my discussion with Aditya, but before that, quickly take a listen to this.
Yes, but a critically important relationship for us, and such a large population and such an important country. And India has to stand against terrorism there as well. We'll do everything we can in the U.S. to support those efforts, and I think that's all part of this relationship as it develops.
Aditya, despite global condemnation, Pakistan continues to deny its role in terrorism. Here, I think, and you'll also agree with me, the big question is, what will it take for the international community to hold Islamabad accountable?
Every passing day, every passing month, we see the global community realizing the consequences of terrorism. And a lot of this terrorism that's being witnessed all across the globe, at least in India and India's neighborhood, apart from India, also in Afghanistan, is, epicentered in Pakistan. Pakistan for years together has been giving shelter to terror groups like the Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahideen, and also the Taliban. And now the same Taliban is threatening Pakistan, and Pakistan claims to be a victim of terrorism itself. But Taliban has sheltered, nurtured, and given, safe shelter, safe haven to terror groups for a very long time. And even the, defense minister of Pakistan or other leaders like Bilawal Bhutto, the former foreign minister, have also agreed and admitted on international media that Pakistan has sheltered terrorism and supported the so-called dirty work of US and UK in Pakistan. So as of now, of course, there is international build-up, moving against Pakistan on the matter of terrorism. But certainly, when civilian lives are lost, when such a barbaric and cowardly terror attack takes place, the international community certainly is shaken. And you also realize the failure of the United Nations in countering terrorism or supporting a global cohesive voice against terrorism. The UN chief came out also a few hours ago condemning the Pahalgam terror attack and asking India and Pakistan to de-escalate, but the UN has been a complete failure when it comes to terrorism. The UN Secretary General, apart from lip service, has remained a mute spectator to the carnage and massacre by Pakistan-sponsored terrorists in India's Jammu and Kashmir. So the latest statement by Mike Johnson, the US House Speaker, clearly indicates how US and India are on the same page. It's a common fight against terrorism. It's a common threat of terrorism, which the Donald Trump administration understands. Trump and Modi have also met a few weeks ago, and the US administration and the Indian government remain in contact on this renewed threat of terrorism and what India plans to do in the next few weeks.
Right. Aditya, continue to stay with us. In fact, let's also once again take a listen to what the US House Speaker Mike Johnson had to say about the Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir. He's in fact announced that Trump administration will help India with resources. We're getting you this exclusively on News9. Take a listen.
Yes, but a critically important relationship for us, and such a large population and such an important country. And India has to stand against terrorism there as well. We'll do everything we can in the U.S. to support those efforts, and I think that's all part of this relationship as it develops. The Trump administration clearly understands the importance of that relationship and clearly understands the importance of the threat of terrorism. And so I think if that threat is increased, I think you'll see the administration, my belief is that they will focus more energy and resources and time to help assist with that. That's certainly our hope. So thank you.
All right, let me quickly go back to my colleague Aditya Rajkol, who continues to stay with us. Aditya, is it time for the world to treat Pakistan as a state sponsor of terror in every official capacity? Is it about time?
Well, absolutely. There's no doubt that India needs to isolate Pakistan and India needs to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state. And I think India has done everything possible in our might to actually expose Pakistan's nefarious designs in India's Jammu and Kashmir. It's been more than 3 decades that terrorism has, continued in Kashmir and also led to several killings, several massacres and several terror attacks at the behest of proxy groups of the Pakistan army like the Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Hizbul Mujahideen. And this time around also there's ample clarity in the minds of the Indian government that the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack is not only Lashkar-e-Toiba or Hafiz Saeed, It is actually the chief of the Pakistan Army, Asim Munir. He himself had given a cue to the Pakistani terrorists and also the proxies of the Pakistan Army, like the Lashkar-e-Toiba, to conduct this terror attack. If you remember, he had given a very, anti-India and anti-Hindu speech a few days ago before the Pahalgam terror attack, comparing and saying that, the Muslims in Pakistan were not like Hindus of India, and then went on an anti-Hindu and anti-India rant. So that was almost a cue to the terror groups to actually conduct this very nefarious terror design in Pahalgam, a tourist spot where, tourists who had nothing to do with politics or, the India-Pakistan conflict were eliminated and were killed in a very barbaric manner. So at this stage, there is international, community pressure building on Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, does not know what India's reaction would be. India has also taken very harsh diplomatic and economic steps against Pakistan to isolate them. And, of course, there is a growing momentum in India to strike Pakistan militarily so that a tough response goes out.
Aditya, the question also is, why does Pakistan still enjoy diplomatic space despite openly harboring terrorists on its soil? Aditya, if you could hear me?
Yes, absolutely. There is, as I said, global pressure against Pakistan, and as I said, every passing day there's renewed commitment from the international community. The UNSC also met and asked very tough questions to Pakistan. At the same time, we had the UN Security Council members, particularly US and France, and also Russia, asked Pakistan whether Lashkar-e-Toiba, which is based in Pakistan, was responsible for the Pahalgam terror attack. So the propaganda that Pakistan tried to attempt at the United Nations and the UN Security Council has completely failed. It hasn't materialized in any kind of a result at this stage. And India is, of course, trying to get more international pressure and support as of now. We have also had the UNSC meeting talk about the so-called false flag narrative that Pakistan has been trying to generate and completely rubbished it. There was a broad-based condemnation of the terrorist attack at the UNSC meeting also, and accountability was sought from Pakistan as to what Pakistan was trying to do to condemn, not only through lip service terrorism, but also act against terrorism on soil. Pakistan's efforts to internationalize the situation have, as of now, failed. They were, in fact, advised during the UNSC meeting to sort out the issues bilaterally with India. India, of course, is not ready for any kind of negotiation at this particular stage with Pakistan. I think the time for negotiation right now is over, but there is growing frustration and desperation within the Pakistani military that there needs to be a way out, there needs to be some negotiation, and that's why an NSA has been appointed, because Pakistan wants some back-channel dialogue with the Indian NSA, Ajit Doval, to calm down the tempers. It also wants a track 2 situation off record. They have reached out to the Indian government for some kind of a back-channel dialogue. So certainly, while Pakistan may portray a so-called brave face, a tough face in the media and international community, in reality there is a panic that is gripping Pakistan right now, because they do not know what India will do. And India seems to be very serious this time of tackling terrorism, and that is the epicenter of terrorism lies in Rawalpindi, that is the headquarters of the Pakistan Army.
Right, Aditya, let me also, let's also discuss about the role of China and Turkey. These countries, do you believe that, these countries shielding Pakistan on international platforms is sort of enabling its terror machinery?
Absolutely. I think, just like I mentioned, countries like China, Turkey, and Azerbaijan are supporting Pakistan, and in a way that means they are defending terrorism, they are shielding terrorism, they are sheltering terrorism, and they are encouraging Pakistan to go ahead with terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. China for a very long time has also blocked India's move to ban and designate the chief of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, Maulana Masood Azhar. That led to a major controversy also across the global media. But at this stage, it's amply clear that China may not directly involve itself in the conflict between India and Pakistan, but will certainly help its close ally, because it calls Pakistan its iron brother, with weapons, with ammunition, with technology, with intelligence against India. China, in a way, wants better ties with India at a time when there is a tariff war between China and US. It wants to stabilize and normalize relationships with India. but at the same time will provide ammunition and every technology and drones, etc., possible to Pakistan to act against India. At the same time, Turkey has also not left behind. It has a very robust defense ties with Pakistan. In the recent times, we have seen senior military officers from Turkey visit Pakistan. Apart from that, a naval ship, was docked at the Karachi port. That led to a major controversy also. Azerbaijan also visibly, in statements, has supported Pakistan. But globally, these countries also realize that they cannot move beyond a point. There is a red line in supporting Pakistan. And if Pakistan continues to support and sponsor such kind of a terrorism against India, where innocent civilians in Kashmir are killed, then certainly there will be more growing pressure on Pakistan. And once India strikes militarily, there won't be any, looking back. And the international community will certainly stand with India.
Right, Aditya, continue to stay with us. For those who have just joined us, this is a News9 exclusive. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson has condemned the Pahalgam terror attack in which 26 innocent civilians lost their lives. And he's announced that Trump administration will help India with resources. Let's quickly take a listen before I continue with the discussion.
Yes, we have great sympathy for what's happening over there, and we want to stand with our allies. I think India is a very important partner to us in so many ways. I hope that the trade negotiations will work out well between the two countries. No one asked me about tariffs. I'm glad. Yes, but a critically important relationship for us, and such a large population and such an important country. And India has to stand against terrorism there as well. We'll do everything we can in the U.S. to support those efforts. And I think that's all part of this relationship as it develops. The Trump administration clearly understands the importance of that relationship and clearly understands the importance, the threat of terrorism. And so I think if that threat is increased, I think you'll see the administration, my belief is that they will focus more energy and resources and time to help assist with that. That's certainly our hope. So.
All right, let me quickly go across to Major General Ashwini Sivaji. He joins me with more details on the same. A very warm welcome to you, General. Strong words there coming in from U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who has condemned the deadly terror attack in Pahalgam. He says India must stand firm against terrorism, and there in fact goes on to assure that the Trump administration will extend all possible support, be it resources, be it intelligence, or in fact energy, to help India combat the growing terror threat. How big is this? Major General Sivaj.
Absolutely. It's quite a big thing. No doubt about it. The Speaker of the House in U.S., Mike Johnson, has told in no uncertain terms that U.S. stand behind India as far as fighting against terrorism is concerned. Not only that they have shown us that they will, support us in all forms once we are fighting against terrorism. We have also signed 4 basic foundation agreement with US, and that also duty bound them to support us. That is your GSOMI, General Security of Military Information, COMCASA, Communication Compatibility and Security Arrangement, LIMU, Logistic Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, and BICA, Basic Exchange Cooperation Agreement. That binds both the country, and they are duty bound to give us all the intelligence through their satellite and also real-time, information. And that is one issue very important. Second thing is, they will support us in fighting against terrorism, and they know it. Pakistan is a hub center of terrorism, and this dastardly act has been done by the offshoot of Raskretoba. So, this statement coming from Speaker of the House of US, Mike Johnson, will make a tremendous impact. Now, once US is directly has come to support India, you will find a lot of European countries will also now start tilting. Those which were preaching us rather than standing with us as a partner, what our Minister of External Affairs told. I suppose that will happen. But in any way, today, Pakistan stand isolated. There is no one with Pakistan except, you can say, China, Turkey, and Azerbaijan. As far as Muslim world is concerned, they are all with India because they are all against terrorism. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Oman, they are with India. And same way you find it, the European countries, though they have not openly supported, but they have said that they are against terrorism. Russia is totally standing behind us. So I suppose we will go in a full swing to ensure that Pakistan again get into a grey list of financial action task force. We will also put pressure in United Nations to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state, and also put pressure in IMF as well as ADB, Asia Development Bank, not to give out bailout to Pakistan since Pakistan is involved in terrorist activity.
Ask you this, with this statement from the US, it's safe to say that the world knows the truth about Pakistan. Yet, a million-dollar question is, why does Pakistan still enjoy diplomatic space despite openly harboring terrorists on its soil?
The problem is that Pakistan is being a frontline state for US for long, because US has utilized Pakistan fighting against in Afghanistan. It has still got bases in, you can say, Balochistan, because when Al-Zawahiri was killed, the drone flew from there. They want to have some presence in Pakistan to fight against Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, which are there in Afghanistan. And it also want to keep eye on Afghanistan and Iran through Pakistan. So whatever Pakistan may do it, but US will always see other way around, because US has used Pakistan quite a bit, though they know it. As presently, Donald Trump knows that Pakistan also double-crossed them, and they double-crossed them in Afghanistan, when whatever money was coming to Pakistan from US was also given to Taliban to fight against US. But all said and done, you will always find tacit understanding is always there between US and Pakistan, because Pakistan is considered a frontline state by US. But certainly, the Donald Trump administration is slightly harsh, and they are totally against terrorism. And the statement which I now come from the Speaker of the House will make tremendous impact, and we are going to fight against this till the tooth and nail.
Major General.